Hey guys, good evening. It's good to see you all on this new session. The market is doing great, and it is good to notice a lot of positive movements that is happening. So let's get on to our session right away. Let's just wait for some more time. Let's just wait for a few more people to join in, and then we'll quickly get into discussion on what's happening in the market. How good is it looking? Are we positive? What are the sentiments now? Let's quickly get on to that. Before that, let's just wait for a few more people to join in. And as and when they join in, let's kick start with our session, guys. So, till everyone joins in, just give me a minute, guys. I'll also uh, quickly do some settings here so that there's a bit of. Okay, looks like we're all set to have another amazing session of AMA. It's a good week. It's a great week for all the crypto enthusiasts. Uh, I hope these good news and good market continues, guys. Let's discuss about that. Let's get into detail. What has happened? What's happened last week? How were things? I know I didn't have my session for quite some time now. I'm having this session after some break because I was traveling a bit and I was unavailable also last week and the week before that. So let's quickly get on to our session. Let me just wait for a few more people to join in, and as soon as they come in, let's begin our session, guys. So let's wait for some more time. I'm seeing people are slowly joining in. I'll actually work on my video till that time. Yeah, I think this is much more soothing, guys. Yeah. So let's wait for some time. People are slowly joining in. Looks like people have gotten busy with their portfolios, as soon as the market has gotten good, which is a good sign, guys. It's good to see that, we were definitely pointing out that uh, there was one key uh, factor in the market, uh, which is the ongoing trade war that is happening. There are some positive sentiments that have come in on the trade wars, which is directly reflecting on crypto prices, which is good. This is ideally what we wanted. We ideally wanted the global scenario to look promising. Then the crypto would do its own magic, right? Uh, it just needed a small course correction from the global economic scenario. And as soon as the course correction happened, though it is temporary, we'll definitely talk about that. It has had a very good positive impact on the ecosystem, as good as the best indicator, which is the Bitcoin prices. It climbed close to 105, 105,000. Now it is rallying somewhere around 103, 104,000, which is still good, right? Considering in a week there has been 10 percentage gain just in Bitcoin. And guess what? That is compared to the other cryptos, that is the least. It's again a good news. Now, people who have all been talking about when is the alt season. Now, I'll not declare a season's beginning so fast. It is going to take some time, but it is a good starter. We are already seeing a good positive movement in a lot of tokens, especially when we look at Ethereum. Most of the people who are holding Ethereum, it is good to see that, guys. You have 41 percentage gain in a week, which is pretty good. It is very interesting, to listen to a lot of you Ethereum holders now. It has been a very long wait, as I would say. Now, Ethereum is trading about $2,500, which is a long wait. Trust me. I've seen Ethereum holders who are noticing even when other tokens were moving, even tokens which are launched in Ethereum were moving. Ethereum was having a tough time, right? But this has been a solid run, guys. So it looks like there's nothing intrinsically wrong or there was an issue with Ethereum. It was just that global factors which are playing around had impacted Ethereum much more than other tokens maybe. And as soon as the global factors looked at least temporarily looking good, Ethereum did its magic. It is 41% up from the last 1 week, guys, which is very, 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 very good news for Ethereum token holders. I'm especially happy for Ethereum holders in particular. So now, what really happened? Now, we all know, though the year began with a very, very big positive sentiment from US, especially driven by Donald Trump, when he declared his complete support for the crypto ecosystem. Now, following that, let us not also forget where Donald Trump had initially promised that he would get cryptos, especially Bitcoin, into the US reserves. Now, we also fulfilled that, though there were a lot of comments on the way we had fulfilled it. But let's not forget, US is one of the very few countries, and US is actually one of the only single biggest, largest economy that has Bitcoin in its reserve, right? So that was a very, very big positive move that happened. Now, following that, though things were looking great in the crypto space, right? If you remember, Donald Trump was also talking about stable coin regulation coming very, very soon. And apart from that, he was also having a task force, which is very critical to even talk today. There is going to be a roundtable discussion by the task force today. I mean, tonight, maybe during our time. The discussion today seems to be on, how the TradFi and DeFi can connect. I think the discussion today is more on RWAs or tokenizing real world assets. So the discussion is going to be on that, and it is by the crypto task force by the White House, which is very, very, very critical and very, very good news for the overall ecosystem from the long term perspective, guys. So it is very important that this task force, which was constituted, is not just having a one-time meeting and people forgot about it. That's not what is happening here. There is series of meetings that are happening. There are a lot of things that are going on, and it is good to see another meeting of the task force happening today. So if you guys get to be awake during this time, I'd be happy to get some updates from you. I'm not sure if I'll be able to follow it tonight, but if you guys get some updates, do ping your updates in our official channels, be it in Telegram or in Twitter. We would love to hear or get our first news from you guys. Now let's start welcoming people. Hi, Lay Raja, good to see you here. Hi, Abhay Pandey, good to see you here. Now, the market's looking extremely optimistic. Bitcoin is around 104,000. Ethereum has gone beyond $2,500, so it is somewhere around 2,550, if I'm not wrong. And not just that. Now there are good news coming from a lot of other corners, especially Solana. Solana has done 20% up in the last 1 week, trading at $175, uh, which is again good. Considering the fact that people are also doubting if Solana, the movement would happen so early compared to Bitcoin in this season, which is good to see that Solana has moved. Uh, and apart from the Tron ecosystem, yes, there is increase in the stablecoin adoption that is happening in the Tron ecosystem, uh, which is again a very good positive effect that is happening in Tron, which has also led to Tron moving close to 10% this week, if I'm not wrong. So a lot of green lines showing in a lot of tokens, be it Chainlink, which is at 25% up in a week, AVAX, which is again interesting. So 28 percentage. Again, the hodlers of Picoin, I know you have some news to be happy. It is 150 percentage up. So the market has reacted pretty well to what? Let's have a discussion on that, guys. So what has happened? What has changed? Why is the market behaving so positive? Now, definitely during our discussion, I said that though initially a lot of great things were happening because of Donald Trump, the global economy take a shook, or there was a lot of disturbance when Donald Trump started with his tariff updates or the so-called tariff wars. Now, the biggest of the tariff wars was happening between China and US, where US had put in, if I'm not wrong, 145 percentage on Chinese imports, and China, on the contrary, they also came out and they had also imposed tariffs around 130 percentage or something, if I'm not wrong. Now, what happened because of this is two large economies, when they got into a direct face-off in terms of tariff, there was a very, very muted sentiment across the globe. A lot of people were worried how economies, the global economy, which are much more dependent on these countries, are going to perform. That took a hit. That pressure was felt across all classes, be it equity, be it bond markets, and gold definitely had a positive impact. Gold was soaring high. A lot of you people who had invested gold in recently would have definitely known how the gold was performing. Now, if you had noticed recently this week, gold prices have actually corrected a bit. I think it's a 3 to 7 percentage correction, if I'm not wrong, 3 percentage correction that had happened in gold. But why? Recently, the White House had came out with the announcement that instead of 145 percentage, they'll be reducing the tariffs to 30 percentage, right? Which again was said as a temporary move till they find or till they get into a discussion with China and they find a middle ground. So for the next 90 days, from 145 percentage, US has reduced it to 30 percentage. And on the counter, China has also reduced its tariffs to 10 percentage from the earlier 125 percentage, what it had put as a tit for tat game that was played by US. China had the tit for tat for 125 percentage. For the 135 percentage, what 45 percentage, what US did. So since both these countries have at least come to a temporary halt in the tariff wars and have agreed to talk and discuss this out, there has been a renewed energy among most of the players, most of the industry players, that there is going to be a positive economic scenario that is going to play out at least for the next few months. Now, people are also very optimistic that both these countries will come on the table and discuss and sort out issues in an amicable way. Because now both US and China have seen how the global market is going to be affected. They've also seen how their supply chain has gotten affected in the few days or few months since these issues were happening. So both these countries have taken things into cognizance and they've agreed to discuss it out. This has created a very, very good positive impact uh, among the positive impact in the market. So this, we hope, has created a very, very good impact on the crypto markets as well. Now, you'd have noticed even in the equity market, there is an impact of this. It has been from the times where it was trending extremely down, there is a good uptake in the equity markets as well. Similarly, Bitcoin started performing early, and we saw Bitcoin reaching as close to 105,000. Now there is a bit of a correction where it is close to 104,000, guys. So this is a pretty good scenario news that is going on. It looks like a lot of institutions are coming back into the crypto ecosystem. They are making the investments back in, especially through the ETF route, which is again good to see institutional money flowing in. Now, though in the middle, when the tariff wars were going on, A lot of people who had initially entered into crypto had quickly sold it off. Now we are noticing newer adoption happening into the ecosystem, and we are hoping this newer adoption are much more stronger hands than the ones we saw earlier. So the larger question now that is going around is, now when is the stop, right? What are we seeing? Now, last time we know the all-time hit at 109,000. This time there's a lot of speculation that the Bitcoin will easily breach the last time's all-time high, or Bitcoin's all-time high till date, right? So that is the expectation. Now this week is very, very critical and very, very crucial. As a matter of fact, there are quite a few news that we have to be following. Obviously, today there is going to be a crypto summit, as I had spoken about. The summit is on tokenization, moving assets on chain. Basically, it is about real world assets, how to tokenize it, and what are the laws and regulations which will help them to do this. There is going to be a discussion on this by the crypto task force. It's a roundtable discussion that is going to happen. So it is good to see a positive step that is happening through the crypto task force institution instituted by Donald Trump himself. So it's good to see that. Now, yes, apart from that, there are certain things that we'll have to be also looking out for. Uh, Tomorrow, there is going to be inflation report that is going to be coming out in US, where it is expected to remain steady at 2.4%. If the inflation remains steady, or if the inflation even eases out, that is very critical, guys. So why is it critical? So we need the next biggest push. That is in terms of US reducing its interest rates. So when US reduces its interest rates, it is going to create a lot of liquidity into the market, which will in turn affect Bitcoin prices, because when there's more liquidity in the market, it will definitely get into asset price appreciation. It will affect both equity markets and the crypto markets alike, is the usual expectation. So inflation remaining steady or going below is a very good news. It is something that we'll have to be watching out for. That is ideally something you'll have to watch out for as well. So this is the recent impact which globally affected every market, the trade wars, which has also created a positive impact on the crypto ecosystem. If things continue as is, at least for the next few months, we are looking at a very good market. After that, in the meanwhile, if US and China are able to sort out their issues and differences, and they come to an amicable middle ground, which again is seen by a market as not a big impact, that will give in the next push, coupled with if the US interest rates also get corrected and keeps coming down. That is a big booster that can happen. Now, obviously, the regulatory interventions that are happening. Now, I do remember Donald Trump when they said that by August, September, they'll be tabling the stable coin, the regulation paperwork, or the framework, how it is going to be. Now, that is something that I'm also waiting for. News around that is also going to be very critical. Now, again, today's roundtable discussion, what is going to happen there, what communication is going to come out of that, or what was discussed in that, is also going to be critical. This week, it is pretty important in the sense, post the inflation percentage is out, I am expecting the market to react positive, which will again have a positive impact on the Bitcoin prices and the other altcoin prices as well. So ideally, I'm hoping for a market that is going to be on upside this week, though there's going to be little corrections. I think you have to be less worried about those corrections. Altcoin holders, yes, I suppose this week is again going to be good for you guys. I expect that there is going to be a steady week or with little upside that you will be noticing as well. So this is quickly from my side, guys. I'm expecting a very positive market, a very bullish market. I hope the global economy also continues the way it is, and there is an amicable solution, but both large countries like US and China find out. So with that thought, I sign off quickly till I meet you guys in next week AMA, 6 p.m. every week, every Monday. I'll be doing this session. Till the time, take care. Bye bye.